DAX has got new music, and we are here to listen to it. Tom Stevens, your resident psychotherapist. The Abyss has just come out from DAX. You know he is a super friend of the family. We love the stuff he creates, the messages he sends, because mental health awareness to the world is our message. It's our mission. It's our passion. DAX does it. Without further ado, it's time for some DAX. Tom Stevens, your resident psychotherapist. DAX, your resident genius. Man, what is life? Ooh. Man, you see that question at the start? What is life? And then the title is The Abyss. You get this feeling like we are about to go like deep down into some chasm of reality of what we all live in, that we kind of live in denial all the time, but it's really there inside us. DAX, bro. What is coming? Therapy time.
Everything I did, I always gave it my best. I don't know if anyone
Yes,
relates, but the feeling that I get
sir.
is like a truck sitting on my chest. Wondering how much do I got left? My last call, my last step. I'm not gonna wait just to see what's next. I go hard cause today could be my last breath. We do life and we can't relive it.
There it is. Love seeing that smile on Dax's face. So talented. Every day, I give it my best. You know, it's all you need to do is try your hardest. And some days we just don't do it. I just want to read down his lyrics, you know. I don't know if anyone else relates, but the feeling that I get is like a truck sitting on my chest. Wondering how much is left. Like how much? I don't know if I've got any breath left in me. It's time to go back in. I did not know he was just going to dive in like that straight off the top, sitting in this dark room by himself.
Everything I did, I always gave it my best.
Yep.
I don't know if anyone relates, but the feeling that I get is like a truck sitting on my chest. Wondering how much do I got left? My last call, my last step. I'm not gonna wait just to see what's next. I go hard cause today could be my last breath. We do life and we can't relive it.
Yep.
We only get one chance. If you blink, then you might just miss it.
Yep.
Many people come and go, they all just visit. Don't ever expect nothing different. Just listen as I paint this image that you'll all revisit. Yeah, my glass half empty, but I still might sip it. I was traumatized.
Yeah. Come on.
What would you have said when you was looking in my mama's eyes?
Brings the music, the beat to it. Trauma. He's talked about trauma a lot. We've had him on our podcast on reaction therapy. So check that out because he's very honest and straightforward. He's talked about it. A lot of people have trauma. A lot of people have been through a lot of tough stuff in life. And it's whether you actually look at it and deal with it. That's why I do what I do for a living as a therapist, is to talk to people in a normal way. It's not freaky. It's not weird. It's not bad. It's good. It can be very normal when you find somebody who's really good at what they do. And you can work through trauma. You can work through struggles. Oh, glass was half empty. You know, I love how I said that though. My glass half empty, but I still might sip it. Like, you look at life real negatively, but you're still going to drink the Kool-Aid and get into that. We all go back to our traumas. Traumas are rediscovered through sights, smells, sounds, experiencing events that remind us of what we've been through before. And our body actually goes back as if we're in the trauma again. Like if you were yelled at a lot when you were younger and you hear somebody with a voice in a restaurant you didn't expect to hear, it can bring you back to that. If you hear a song on the radio and you were in a bad accident and that song had played, you will go back. Your mind can take you back to that accident instantly without you knowing it. It's crazy how that works, but man, he's speaking it.
That you'll all revisit. Yeah, my glass half empty, but I still might sip it. I was traumatized.
Yep.
What would you have said when you was looking in my mama's eyes? Nothing. Yeah, I might have said I was okay, but I probably lied. So this pain is how I harmonize.
Denial.
Make an impact, that's what I personify. And yes, I'm making music that you can't just define by the numbers on my Spotify. All of this pain, I just want to be happy. Mom almost died the same day that she had me. Driving to the hospital, she swerved and crashed badly. Doctor said I was a miracle while looking at my daddy. I was 0 when I first dodged death. I was 6 when the devil told me watch my step. Couldn't sleep, I was scared to go inside my bed. Fighting demons, I was hearing things inside my head. So back to the doctor, he didn't have a...
Oh, wow. What a story. DAX, for real? Number one, his mom gets in a car accident on the way to the hospital, almost dies, Still has a miracle. I was 6 when the devil told me to watch my step. What does that mean? What happened? Couldn't sleep. I was scared to go inside my bed. Voices in the head. Things that happen. Doctors, sometimes we don't get good medical diagnosis.
I was 0 when I first died. The devil told me watch my step. Couldn't sleep. I was scared to go inside my bed. Fighting demons. I was hearing things inside my head. So back to the doctor. He didn't have a diagnosis. So my whole damn life I felt lost while fighting psychosis. Talking to myself, hoping nobody would notice. Mom said pray every time I heard the voices. Life or death every day, I swear I made choices. Knife in my hand, trying not to lose focus. Playing basketball religiously to drown out the noises. Man, let me explain that.
Knife in my hand, trying not to lose focus. Playing basketball. He's talked about that on the podcast we did with him. He talked about that. He was an amazingly good basketball player, by the way. DAX can play. Like if you watch video of him too, but he can play. And it's so sad for me to see children. You know, Jill and I, my wife, worked with children our entire career, almost 30 years now, and we specialize with children. And we see so many professionals who don't know how to work with children. They haven't been trained how to do therapy with children. So he doesn't get diagnosed when he's young. Nothing from any of what he'd been through. So the trauma just sits there, right? And it reveals itself later in life. When we can get early intervention with children and do therapy, it's through play therapy and other methods that we have to work with children. It's not the same as adults where you just sit and talk. A lot of therapists say, well, I can't really see your child until they can talk to me. Well, that's not true. You can do a lot of good therapy without it. You just have to be trained to do it. And he didn't get it. If he could have gotten it, life could be totally different, but it's not. And he's having to cope now. Life's tough. It's hard. And when I let myself go back into that abyss, that black hole, life can be horribly miserable.
Mom said pray every time I heard the voices. Life or death every day, I swear I made choices. Knife in my hand, trying not to lose focus. Playing basketball religiously to drown out the noises. Man, let me explain that. It's like laying on train tracks, grabbing guns, contemplating blowing your brain back. Eyes closed shut, watching everything fade black. People stepping over you, you feel like a placemat. Fuck, and let me make it clear. God is the only one that I've ever feared. But you start to get paranoid and look over your shoulder when these people have been hurting you for so many years. So I had to escape. If you listening, I know that you relate.
Had to. It's like I had to. This can speak to any addict in the world, honestly. I'll just speak to that because it's general terms. That's the reason to escape through addiction, is the trauma, is the struggle, is the stress, is the hopelessness. And so it's like it's the only way I knew to make myself feel okay in the moment, or to make myself feel like I could make it, is to get a fix, is to get a high. And you know, the fact that his mom said pray, I love that. She said pray, because you know what? No matter whether people believe in praying or not, or believe in God or not, what is the harm in trying to pray for healing, and trying to pray for goodness, and trying to pray for something better, or something to change from where it is? There's no harm in that. And so I think what a sweet mom to be able to say, and they believe in God, and to be able to say, I need to. But boy, he's talked about it. Makes me question God, because so many bad things happen, especially to young people. What's going on here? What's the point? And he's laying it out to everybody. I went through so much hell. I had to. Relates to everybody. And it's okay. Those things happen. It's what we do with them later. It's what he does once he realizes I've got to get out of the cycle of misery and whatever else I use to cope and deny, and live a stronger life. And so I'm wondering if he's going to that.
Hurting you for so many years, so I had to escape. If you listening, I know that you relate. Is that feeling that you get like your life and existence was all just one big mistake?
Yep.
I felt trapped and I couldn't find space. I went and got lost in the things I'd create. Ever since I was a kid, people hated and they judged everything that I did. So I went into my mind and created the abyss. Man, I swear I did. How the hell y'all think I make all these hits? It's cause I've been broken, beaten, dragged, laughed at, scorned, burned, and kicked. So I get to reach in this endless pit of hurt and pain from all that shit. And that's the only reason that you people come here. Or for God's sake, even know that DAX exists. This is how it feels to drown. This is how it looks when you lost and you can't be found. The abyss was a place I'd visit, but I went so much that I'm gone and I'm stuck here now. This is not music, this is not dope. This is me begging y'all to throw me a rope so I can try to climb at the place where I came in my life when I spiraled and first lost hope.
The very thing he creates that people love comes out of all the trauma, the pain, the misery, the sadness, the hopelessness. Happens all the time. His art, his creativity, the beauty he creates in his music He's saying, where do you think this comes from? It comes from the stuff I've been through in life. Not in a mean way, sweating there on the couch, like just, trying to sort things out. And it's like, why do I have to go through all this to create this? But what he went through helped him create what he's got. And I think he wouldn't want anybody else to go through that. It's like I said about my life, and I think he'd probably say it about his. I wouldn't trade it for the world, but I wouldn't wish it on anybody. I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy to go through what I've gone through, and I also wouldn't trade it for the world because it's gotten him to where he is today. This is not music. This is not dope. I'm just begging you to throw me a rope. Just trying to get out of the misery he's been through from all the trauma. So trauma keeps us stuck, and it makes us relive it through the experiences we have. We just keep this endless cycle of trauma, of panic, of fear, of depression, and then we try to climb out of it and cope, and just in denial, we try to just get through it, only to find out we get traumatized again, back to the old, through what we see, what we hear, what we look at, what we taste, what we touch, all the experiences in life. It just keeps re-triggering trauma until we clear out the trauma. That's why I talk about EMDR all the time with therapy. Is it allows a treatment method that allows us to desensitize the brain to that trauma. Listen to all this again.
Oh, for God's sake, even though that DAX exists, this is how it feels to drown. This is how it looks when you lost and you can't be found. The abyss was a place I'd visit, but I went so much that I'm gone and I'm stuck here now. This is not music. This is not dope. This is me begging y'all to throw me a rope so I can try to climb at the place where I came in my life when I spiraled and first lost hope. Let me explain. I've been DAX so long, I get PTSD when somebody says my real name.
Wow.
But I guess that's the price you pay. I didn't want it to be like this, but I guess it is what it is. Inside the abyss.
He created the abyss. He even said it in there. To cope, he created the abyss. And you can fill in the blank for a lot of people with any kind of addiction that happens in their life. Any kind of, void that you go to try to cope with life. He created that out of everything that he's been through as a means of survival. And what he's saying is, I just want a rope to be able to climb out of it. And that's part of the music I create. And your response to me, you're listening to it, you're being a part of this journey with me, allows me to climb out of that. He's done a lot of work on himself too. I'm sure he has, to be able to realize he's worth a whole lot more than the music he creates, that he's got a lot to offer this world. And the music is just a way to be able to express who he is, where he's been, and also to give other people ropes. He gives people ropes with the music he creates. Remember, this is EMDR Therapy. Just Tom breaking down lyrics. And man, how about that scenery, just being out in the abyss, like out in this emptiness, this void. It's very lonely there, right? But it's the place he would go to that he controlled. And sometimes our misery controls us in a way that helps us feel okay. It's kind of odd, right? But it does. And until we can see that there's a better way, a stronger way, a healthier way to live life, we stay there. Therapy matters. Please seek it out. DAX would tell you the same thing. You can get help. If you want help, check the links in the description and leave us your comments. Let us know what you think about this. Can't wait to see what you have to say about this song. Another amazing song from DAX, The Abyss. I can't wait for the next one. I love mental health awareness being spread to the world. DAX does it all the time. We'll see you on the next Reaction Therapy.